thing we need for today.
Yeah, because when I'm coming in, I'm on the dizzy side.
Yeah,
so.
we have to bolt tonight, so we can't be good.
No, we can't. I have all day to let it wear off. Hi, everybody. Here we are.
Happy Monday.
Sporting my new, the latest accessory.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. I put mine on my wrist.
Yeah. It's because first of all, happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Monday's a little different for us. It's been a while since we've been.
It's been a while since we even been here, Frank. It's been a while.
Yeah, but you forget about live from Rabs. Just Monday. Just doing this on a Monday.
And actually, we're legal right now without our masks.
We are legal without masks. We're sitting at a bar again because this is just. Joe, welcome to the new studio.
Thank you. It's nice to be back in the new studio. Yeah, nice.
Oh, Pam, welcome to the party. I hope you are well. We need to get Pam back in here.
I miss Pam. Did you say Pam?
I said Pam.
Okay, Pam. Hi, Pam.
She's looking. She's liking the look, man.
Yeah, I did a little thing. I did a thing.
What's the thing?
Thank you, Frank.
What's the thing?
Nothing. I just changed my hair a little bit. Change it up. Summertime's coming,
Yeah, that's the thing to do. I don't have that problem.
So what's your plan, Joe?
I did get a haircut. I got all 6 of the hairs on my head cut. So they're a little trim now.
Wait, summer's coming, or is it here already?
Well,
Not
by this weekend, you wouldn't think it was coming because this weekend was steamy.
Yesterday was toasty.
Steamy.
Yeah. Yesterday was toasty. It was toasty yesterday.
But you know what? I kind of like that. I would rather, although the nighttime was a little uncomfortable and I really didn't want to turn on my air conditioner already.
Yeah, my neighbors had that going. I don't blame them. I still have mine covered, so I was, who figured now we're going to need them.
Yeah, I feel like I just turned my heat off,
Yeah.
So
We did.
I like to have a little break in the utility bill for a while.
Well, it's been odd because it's like that hot weather just hit us.
Yeah.
It just boom, smacked us right in the face.
Oh yeah.
And you can't prepare for it.
No.
You went out and all of a sudden we're here and we're like, oh, wow, it's beautiful outside.
It is nice. It is nice.
So, but not at 90 degrees, and then today's like that.
No,
today's the sun's out. Yesterday, not so much the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool today.
That was quite a drop in temperature. I actually opened my window in my bedroom a little bit.
Yeah, it got
cool. Because it was warm, and then I woke up this morning. I was like, I had the covers pulled up.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
Kenny Soto, happy Monday. And of course, you make sure that everybody knows the ever so popular
Brooklyn Zone.
And wait till tonight when we return the favor, and Naz and Frank are on our show tonight before bowling.
It's a media-filled day
It's
for
show
Frank
day.
and for the three of us.
It's show day today.
You're gonna get sick of seeing us.
Yeah. Yep.
Hi, Jen. How are you?
Get sick of us.
No, I don't think so. Well, maybe my wife might be sick of me. But now that I'm home.
The retirement phase.
Yeah,
Is she talking about getting a job yet?
She's talking about me getting a job. I'm like, I just retired 2 months ago. Give me a break.
Now, she's got to push you back out of that.
Yeah, I said it's 20 years to decompress, and then I'll consider it.
We'll see how long it takes. You're saying a year. I predict it'll be shorter than that.
Really? You think so?
I think.
Yeah.
I think. People talk to me about it all the time. We were at the doctor's last week, and the doctor said, when he was talking to me, he goes, I don't understand why people are always so looking forward to retiring. What are they going to do? Sit at home all day? And I was like, pick me, because I'm in for that. I want to try it for a while. And then he goes, well, we just didn't get out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that doesn't really count.
No.
It's not sitting around at home doing nothing.
No, I've had a few days sitting at home doing nothing, but I could pretty much count them on one hand in 2 months.
There's always something to do,
I've
Joe.
been busy. Yeah, plus I'm trying to get out to golf now the weekdays, as much as I can. I've been busy with some.
That's what it's about.
And some
enjoying.
Joe, that's something else. So now your calendar went from work to golf.
No, our conversations with Joe went from I can't wait from the countdown from like a year ago. The countdown. It was like I can't with this. I can't. So now look at him.
I know.
Relax.
Look, he's just collecting his money.
I'm like, this is good. This is good.
Matt Koplitz, hello
From Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I would
and-
trade places with you in a minute.
Yeah.
You and Powder have been sharing your photos
Oh, yeah.
all week long
Oh yeah.
with all the celebrities at the Open Championships. Looks like you guys are having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the bowling went, so you'll have to share how the bowling went.
Oh, I think they said that they may have a shot at cashing in doubles.
Yeah.
So that would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Jose Rojas, welcome to the
Hi, Jose. From the look at us.
Wow.
We're across the nation.
So Joe, you started. We're gonna go back to this because you brought it up. Now,
Okay.
Kenny's piling on.
All right, go ahead.
So Nazareth and I were invited to be on the live from the draft league
Yeah.
last
I know.
Monday. Set it up, and
We were ready, and it takes us a while to prep for
I
these
know.
things, Frank.
Hair
We
and
don't
makeup
go
and
in. We just don't go in, and
Yeah, we
randomly
were the
pop in.
invited special guests, and then a message comes along and go
uninvited.
uninvited.
No, not uninvited.
Uninvited. Show's canceled. No show.
Yeah. Well.
You've been pushed to next week.
Yeah. Well.
Luckily, they were able to rebook us.
Yeah.
Luckily, we had the spot available.
Our
and-
agent took care of it.
Yes. Yes.
Our people called your
Our
people,
people.
and we worked it out. I'll fall on the sword for my good buddy Joe B, who I love you, Joe, but we had to cancel because you had something to do. But it's okay. It's all good.
Show must go on.
The show, I know, but you know what? I
understand that. I just
Yeah.
mean in general.
Yeah.
Now the show is going on,
Yeah, the show must.
and
Yeah.
we will be there.
It's okay. We did not take it personally.
No, it's Little League
We
baseball.
never take anything personally.
No,
Frank or I know.
it's Little League baseball. Joe's, coaching his, youngest son now.
Oh,
he
he's such
thought-
a cutie.
He
that
is.
little guy.
JoJo's that kid. God bless him. But Joe thought he was done with coaching Little League. He thought, but every time he thought,
You know what happens? They pull you back in.
You guys have been insane.
Yes, we did. And we didn't even practice that.
No, we didn't.
But Great Kills Little League needs Joe Bruno because
Yeah.
Joe is a key figure there. He's one of the main cogs down there.
Oh.
So yeah, he's a cog.
The cog in the wheel.
He's the cog.
The cog in the
The
wheel.
spoke in wheel, yeah.
The straw that stirs the
No,
drink.
I don't.
Not quite.
No, not quite.
Right, that level?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's important, but no. But I mean, he's got a lot of pull there, but he's not
All right,
quite
well, that's good
so,
to hear.
But,
And it's good that he was able to fit it in and
Yeah.
blow off the show. And
no, we'll be back tonight. We'll be back and better than ever. I mean, Matt is in Vegas, so the Hound Dog will be on camera one in his place. So,
That's a
all
big
good.
thing, when your cameramen are out, you
Yeah.
got to replace
it's hard to find those.
Well, no, Kenny's capable of handling solo, but
Mr. Gorgeous.
Yeah, we're gonna bring the Hound Dog back in.
Mr. Gorgeous and the Hound Dog.
Yeah, it'll be
So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah,
So
it'll be fun.
tonight, you guys want to talk a little bit about the golf outing and what's going on. And I
Yeah.
will say here,
Mhm.
this is I can't believe it. 145 episodes later, the new bowling, this 2020-2021 bowling season is coming to a close.
Mm.
Our
Crazy.
daytime leagues are just finishing up this week and next week. We still have about 4 or 5 weeks left on most of our night leagues as this season just keeps extending.
Yeah, it feels like it's going
We're at
on.
a point where at the end of June, the leagues will be done and the summer season will be started and we'll just be getting back to some more normalcy, right? So
Yeah.
the one good feeling this week was when people can come in and if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear your mask.
Yeah.
If you are not vaccinated, you should wear your mask.
We encourage you to wear your mask, not only for your safety, but the safety of others.
Yeah, well, you know what? You still
If
wanna
you're
be
not
comfortable.
vaccinated.
Right. You
Right.
still want to be as comfortable as possible and make
absolutely.
others feel. So it's like when you walk into the common area or whatever, and it's
Yeah.
it's hard, but I will say it is a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Not to-
Literally.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Physically,
Literally.
to even not be the mask police anymore.
Yes.
And it's very hard. Listen, we cannot stand at the door and ask for vaccine cards. We're at a point where people have to make the right choice. And I will say, the interesting part about all this is that most people are still wearing them.
The honor system, people.
Yeah.
The honor system.
I was telling Frankie earlier, I went into a store yesterday and I walked in. It was a crowded store. I was in Target and I went in to buy their pajamas, which, by the way, don't sleep on those because Target pajamas, chef's kiss, as they say.
That is not a paid for.
That's all right. That's
Not
a
a
paid
paid for
advertisement.
But Target, if you're listening.
If you're listening, don't feel free to send samples. That's fine.
We could do an unboxing.
Yeah, we'll do it. And then I'll do a TikTok on the side. You never know. It could blow up. Anyway,
Yeah, could be a thing.
everybody was wearing a mask to the point where I had to go back and check the door if there was a sign that you had to wear a mask because little kids had masks on. Everybody had masks on.
The stores have been. Yeah.
The weird thing was I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I felt
It was the other way around.
uncomfortable. Right. And I was like, if it was the other way around, how do people go and not wear a mask when everybody else has a mask on?
Right.
So I really felt uncomfortable. And I finally spotted one other person with a mask on. I was like, oh, I felt like I met my soulmate. But yeah, it's things are going to be this way, I believe,
Yeah, they
for a
are.
while.
There's
I
a
know.
hesitance, right? You
Yeah.
look for the sign on the door, you don't know.
Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
you do it, you do you.
Mhm.
You do it feels comfortable. And Jennifer makes a good point. Keeping the mask on in the higher temperatures certainly does make it.
Yeah.
Does make it even a little more
Oh,
difficult.
yeah.
But I will say,
Oh, yeah.
last week was the first, right after the change. I went to the bank and I knew the bank policy. We wore the mask. We wore the mask.
Mhm.
I left the mask. I left the mask. I left the bank. Now I go to one of my next stops and I go to Starbucks. And I was not walking with a mask. I had it on my wrist.
This is
my wrist,
what
'cause
I
you never
do
know.
too.
You never know.
Just in case.
And I walked in without a mask and was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And today I just had this conversation. I was the only one in the store.
It's a little strange.
I was that guy.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
But and I think it depends on where you're going, how many people are around.
Right.
Uh,
And maybe the makeup of the people that you're around, because it's still legitimately only if you're vaccinated. I think there are a bulk of younger people who are not vaccinated
Right.
for whatever reason.
Right.
Just they didn't get around to it. That maybe they decided they're not going to.
Right.
And so when I see groups of people with masks on, I'm like, oh, maybe they're not vaccinated, and I'm happy they have their
We know
masks on.
you don't trust others.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise us. But and it's true because you don't know. You want people to be honest as much as possible. And listen, I've had conversations with people. Am I supposed to wear a mask? Well, if you're not vaccinated, you really should continue wearing a mask. But you can't fight with them. You're not going to fight with them.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that is also the purpose of herd immunity. The purpose of herd immunity is that if we are in a group setting and you're not vaccinated, but we are, and if the chance of it transmitting, and essentially the easiest way is if rubber ball is going to bounce, and it's not going to bounce. If somebody who's vaccinated, it's going to pull off there, go to someone else, and the likeliness of somebody getting infected is much less.
Mm-hmm.
So now that leads me to one thing that it's driving me bananas right now. Is the stadium policy
Oh
in New
boy,
York,
vaccinated section, non-vaccinated section.
which makes no sense to me
Right.
because you're incentivizing people to get vaccinated instead of get to sit all together 6 feet apart. Okay, in the seats you're 6 feet apart.
Right.
So the way that it works is if you're vaccinated, you sit basically anywhere you want. If you're not vaccinated, you have to sit in the non-vaccinated section,
Right.
which is the 400s. And you're sitting up in the nosebleeds, fine, whatever it is.
Right.
But all the unvaccinated people are sitting together. Now they're sitting together 6 feet apart in the stadium. Now what happens? Now I went to a game, you went to a game. Do people practice social distancing anywhere in the stadium? Not even on the lawn, Nazareth.
Not, I
And
have to
it's
say, on the food
You're being
line,
nice.
on the food lines, there was people. I kept backing away
Me
from
too.
people, and I'm backing up, and the person behind me is
Yeah.
right there. So it's
Yeah, no.
it's a little
No.
awkward.
In one area, the urinals are close to every other one, but
Right.
the stickers on the floor are this big.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
this big.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a crap about the stickers on the floor. So you can't tell me that they're going to practice social distancing up in the nosebleeds when they're all unvaccinated. But the purpose of herd immunity is to mix and mingle people.
Right.
So let's put all the people up there that are going to get infected. Let's create this environment where all are going to be sick.
I think that they are trying to balance things out the best they can with their business too.
Yeah.
Because if they take the vaccinated people and they can sit them closer together, so they can conceivably fit more people in the stadium. So, and I know that they're trying to do the best they can. They have a lot of season tickets sold. I know there's people who have tickets that are displaced, and so I understand what they're trying to do, and it's an awkward thing for moving forward for everybody, because they're actually trying to do something that, listen, it's never been done before, and we're trying to work out of this. And I don't know if there's a true step forward without some kind of awkwardness of trusting that at some point you have to trust that people are going to do what they're supposed to do.
Right.
I don't think you can legislate to the lowest level of compliance.
So,
And that's
Mike Ruff brings up. Okay, so Mike Ruff, he went to Yankee Stadium yesterday, even as a Met fan. Ooh.
You had to throw that in there, though, didn't
Well, that's fine, because he knows that we know that he's a Met fan.
I know.
And I will say, Citi Field is a much nicer stadium, and it does not look like a cold, ugly monument. But anyway,
bang, take that. But the new Yankee
section,
Stadium is actually kind of nicer.
It's still an ugly monument.
Okay, I didn't say that.
That's my opinion. Seems like there's no segregation once in the stadium. Nobody checked this out once entering the ballpark. So my question is, we have tickets. Now, when I went to a game, you had to have the testing or the vaccination, and they checked it before ticketing. Now, let's say this week I go to a game and I bring someone 2 seats, somebody's not vaccinated. We go through the door, we go through the gate with the test results and my vaccination card. Do they know that we're sitting together?
I don't think that makes a difference, because they don't check your tickets there.
No, because the purpose, well, that's my point.
To get into the stadium, I don't think is different. I think to get into the stadium still remains.
So are they checking it again to get to your seats? Because technically we can't sit together.
Why would you not be able to sit together?
Because the person's unvaccinated.
No, they didn't change that policy that I know of.
Yes. If you have to be vaccinated to be seated together. If you're together in the vaccinated section. If only somebody in your party is not vaccinated, you got to sit in the unvaccinated section.
Somebody that knows has to let us know that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's the information that they sent us.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If there's somebody in your party that's not vaccinated, you have to sit in the unvaccinated section. Or you can make them go sit up there and you sit below.
Right, yeah.
So now, are they checking what you don't need a test? So maybe that's it. Maybe they're not even checking test results. So now if I show up vaccinated, not vaccinated, how do they know? Because they're checking it before.
Listen, maybe they're throwing their hands up too and going, listen, we're doing the best we can.
Yeah,
at some point, we have to rely that people are going to do
I heard
this.
Michael said we had to go to a special gate at Yankee Stadium.
Oh, okay.
Since we were vaccinated.
Right. So once you were in the stadium,
that's my point.
Right. They're not checking any further once you get in.
It all changed this past week. No different than like the catering halls. If you're less than 250 people, you don't need to provide testing. And so anything. But here's the thing, though: a catering hall, now tight quarters, 251 people, you have to have a test result, a negative test result, or vaccination. Anything under 250, it's all I'm saying is consistency is still a problem. But it'll be interesting to see when I get to go this week, and I'm not chancing bringing somebody who's not vaccinated, but I'm very
I wouldn't take that chance. I mean, unless you don't mind watching the game by yourself, which to me doesn't matter to me. I make concerts by myself, so I'll watch it by myself. Yeah, but I would feel funny bringing my friend, assuming they're going to sit next to me, and then they end up.
Or then the two of us have to go sit somewhere else.
Yeah, well, that's not going to work because I'm not even
I don't blame you.
It's the inconsistencies.
It's tough. I think it's tough to legislate.
Because they want to put more people in the stadium, which I'm all for. Because the last game we went to was 8,000 people in the stand. They didn't even have that.
Right.
But that was because of the limitations.
Right.
So I know that they're not hitting capacities. People still aren't comfortable with going to the game. So
I will tell you, when I was there, I was at 3 games. And they were very crowded. It was really crowded. It's hard to tell at Citi Field because, people not in their seats.
Right.
Because there's so much to go around. But I go by like coming through the gate and how crowded that area is.
Right.
And it was crowded. Well, one of them was a Jacob deGrom game, so of course that's right. That's
well, two schools of thought on the crowd thing. Our friend Mike Giovanazzo Making Memories production, Michael.
Another shout out.
Yeah, another shout out. He's a big Brooklyn Nets fan. He went to the playoff game the other night and sent us a picture as he was, I guess, at the top of the escalator looking down. It was a sea of humanity.
Oh, well, they showed the Knicks game.
Yeah.
Was it the Knicks game last night?
Yeah,
they,
last night at the Garden.
they showed
Yeah.
on TV, and
Yeah.
the place was packed.
Yeah, it was.
And it's funny because, you know, we had so much anxiety, I think, going into it, of
Right.
like the separation and being
Right.
apart from everybody. And now it's like we got used to it. And when they showed that stadium,
Yeah.
packed.
Yeah, the arena was packed.
The arena, I'm sorry.
And the
not
Nets
stadium.
too, the Brooklyn.
And I
mean,
was
packed.
like,
Yeah.
that's really a lot of people
Well, how
all
about
close
this?
together.
How about the 18th hole yesterday with Phil?
Oh,
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, there was
the TVs in front of us.
Yeah,
so it
there was
came up.
not one mask on that, and there was like thousands of people, right?
yeah.
I mean, there's no way all these people vaccinated. No, not
No. And you know, just to touch on, since you happen
Right,
to bring up what we were sharing all day together, all day yesterday.
right.
That was, to me, I've watched a lot of like iconic performances,
Right.
but I thought yesterday, and going in, and we talked in the morning,
Yeah, I didn't
and
think he was gonna do it.
I was
Yeah.
on Phil. I
didn't
really
think
felt.
he was gonna do it.
I really felt if he was in the right frame of mind, and
Yeah.
God knows that that's a big thing with,
Yeah.
with you know,
any
athletes,
athlete,
elite athletes in
Yeah.
particular. That he was, I was gonna say to you, let's put a little wager on it, but I held back.
It's a good thing I didn't. I thought he was gonna melt down. I really did. I thought Phil was gonna have a meltdown.
So it was funny
You know?
because getting back to the frame of mind that his brother.
Hi, Kevin.
I just saw him on the. I can't.
Well, we're talking golf now, Kevin. So
Yeah, I just saw him. He was just here.
He might still be here.
He probably is.
So you know, watching it yesterday, like the first 6 holes were crazy. Mickelson and Koepka were a shot apart going in. They switched positions back and forth. They would go bogey. One would go bogey. The other one would go birdie.
Right.
And they just switched back and
On the
forth
front
for like the first 6
On the
holes.
front nine, yeah.
So now, the 6th hole, Phil's brother grabs him, who was on the bag,
Okay,
who was
yeah.
right,
Brother Tim.
his brother
Yeah,
Tim,
yeah.
and said to him, "Listen, if you're going to win this thing,
You got to get your head out of your ear.
you're really going to have to focus."
Yeah.
So Phil said that he says, and this every athlete and anybody who's coaching athletes, please, these words.
Kevin is not a Phil fan.
These words, and that's fine. I can't control the outcome. What I need to do is commit to every shot.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Right. Pearls of wisdom.
And
Yeah.
after that, he was,
Yeah.
and he shot even for the day, I believe, because he went in +7 and whatever.
Yeah.
But everybody else was dropping behind him.
Yeah.
And no matter, even if he hit a little bit of a stray shot,
Yeah.
his
He recovered.
second shot
He
was a
recovered.
great recovery.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he was trying to overdo it, which I think Koepka, which is, I think that's just the kind of guy he is,
Right. Well,
was trying to,
Yeah, he's a home run hitter.
right.
You know, so
He was trying to make the next shot
Right.
in
Yeah.
the hole.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I think that got him in a little bit of trouble. But I just thought that swing thought,
Yeah.
that he said that was his swing thought.
Right.
That I thought that was, and you can use that in any sport at all.
Any
Any
sport.
sport at all.
Any sport.
Can't control the outcome. All
Right.
you can do is commit to the shot that's in front of you.
Right.
And I'm sure if Figgy was here like we're supposed to be, he would have been able to tell us that. And listen, I've heard Jacob did the same thing about Jacob DeGrom.
Yeah.
And that was the big change in his game,
Absolutely.
was that
You can't control it. I mean,
he
you
just-
can try your best.
really made the commitment to staying in the zone and making the best pitch he could.
Definitely.
Anyway.
And even, I mean, you could say it here with bowling. How many nights, right? You hit the
Absolutely.
pocket all night, and something, you know, and may
Absolutely.
stay up, but up. You're throwing it good. You're trying your best, but sometimes the bowling gods aren't smiling on you.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Unfortunately, a little too often.
but that's any sport,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah, I will say, Kevin makes a point. I mean, 50 years old, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
The oldest by like a year and a half to win a major.
Oh, yeah.
We saw
Yep.
now we saw that change in bowling within the last 10 years, where Walter Ray was still competing and winning titles at his age.
And Norm Duke.
Pete Weber, Norm Duke, these guys who now, the 2 of the 3 retired.
Right.
So now they're out still, but they will come for the majors.
They're on the
They're
senior
still
tour.
competing.
Right.
They're bowling on the senior tour.
Yeah.
So now in golf, you have the same issue. You've got this generation.
Yep.
Now you Tiger.
They're kind of aging
These
out.
guys are going to start
Right.
aging. I want to put aging out.
Yeah,
I don't want to call
right.
it. They're getting older. They're still going to be competing because they can. But on the bowling side, it's the same conversation that they always
I believe
have,
it's the
is
same.
that there comes to a point where they feel like they cannot compete anymore.
Right.
However, there are a select few
Right.
that can stick with it and will do it to the vet as long as they can.
Yeah.
Walter Ray, I mean, pretty impressive. Now Phil's going to be the same thing. He's going to hang on. He's going to hang on there. When Tiger hits that age, which is coming,
Right.
how long is he going to stay with it? And if he can, will he continue to compete? I think there's more credit to that. And one could argue whether it's good or bad for the game. Because is it good for the game?
I think it's great for the
that these
game.
old guys are hanging around.
I think it's good.
Should you let the young generation still be able to compete?
They are, and they're still going to win.
But those are the arguments that they make.
You do both.
Right.
And I wholeheartedly agree. Let them compete. I think it's great. I think people aspire to that. People see that. I mean, that's a great story. We're watching Phil doing commercials.
Right.
Well, listen,
Dead.
he hasn't won a major
And he
in
looks
over
great.
2 years.
Right.
He obviously is in really good shape.
Right.
I mean, what was his nickname? Lumpy or something like
Lumpy.
that? And
He lost a lot of weight.
he's in good shape.
He's meditating now.
Mentally,
Yeah.
his game is in a good place. So to me, I think that's a good story because, and that was not on a course that was
No.
a short course.
No.
That was a tough course
Right
that
off the
really
water.
favors
The long
longer
hitters.
hitters.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, how many shots was it? 200 yards to clear the water, or to clear brush, or to clear something.
Right.
So I just think it was amazing for him to be in that position.
Yeah.
I just think
he
it was.
said the low bullets is what helped him. He hit.
Oh, yeah, there was one shot that he
low
hit.
bullets.
There was one shot that he hit when he was in the trees.
Yep.
And they said, the announcer said, I don't think that went 4 feet off the ground.
He hit those little stingers, and that's why he won.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
was great.
He played great. But Phil on his first, the PGA Champions Tour, which is the senior, a nice name for the senior.
Yeah,
tour.
they make it sound nice.
His very first one that he played in, he won. So he's got a knack for the.
Yeah.
He likes to flair for the dramatic a bit, but.
Well, that yesterday was dramatic.
Yeah, he can compete on both, and he will.
Yeah.
He will.
And yeah, that was a scary scene going back to the beginning of the conversation.
Oh my God.
On
Cool.
18, when he walked up to 18, and the fans just closed in on them. And
because that's what they're used to doing. They've done it.
I have
been able to do
never
it. And should they have still done it?
seen that. I have never seen where one guy actually grabbed Phil.
Right. Yeah.
And I was, I'll tell you, I said to him a text, I fear for Phil's life if he sinks this putt.
Yeah.
I mean,
think he was going to get off the green.
it was, but then thank God, obviously they always keep that area pretty clear walking into the clubhouse.
They tried. Yeah.
But yeah, it was as an athlete, that was frightening.
Yep.
And
What's up, Rick?
What we doing? I
Hi,
have an
Rick.
important thing. Go ahead. I just saw some woman outside from the Stingley Roads. She wants to come back.
okay,
I want to come back forward. I said,
all right, well, get ready.
whatever she's doing, I'm going to go tell her right now.
She's back.
Very good.
Kevin says they rushed Tiger off yesterday too.
Russ Tiger off it. They rushed. Oh, yes.
Out of the crowd.
When he won at East Bay, was it?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, when he came back and won his first event, that was the year before the Masters. I think it was the year before when he won the Masters.
Yeah.
But Tiger. I think it was at East Bay. Kev, you're right.
Yes, frightening.
You're right. The crowd was behind him walking.
Kevin, wrong, huh? $1 a game, you. When I come back, $1 a game.
So yeah, it was anyway. So
Yeah.
it was a very
Yeah.
interesting.
It was.
It was an interesting
It
event.
was good for golf. It was
Yeah.
good to see, one of the older guys win. And you know what else too? Not to be lost. Not only was Phil the winner, but you had two guys in the top four that were older guys.
Yes.
You had Louis Oosthuizen, who's in his 40s, and you had
Yes.
Patrick Harrington,
Yes.
who's going to be the Ryder Cup captain for that other team. Not for the USA,
Oh.
Team Europe.
You know, and Oosthuizen, he had a shot there.
Oosthuizen did.
Like but he got to the end of the course, and whether he got tired or.
No, Oosthuizen putted like I putt, and that's not going to win you any major tournament.
And you know what?
Yeah,
and even
not good.
even Kupka didn't really play
No,
well at
no.
all.
No,
Anyway.
well, they're feeling the pressure a little bit. That's a major,
Yeah.
you know. So, but yeah,
Anyway,
it was good. It was a good day. It was a
it
good sports day.
was a good
Good
sport. Unfortunately, the Mets lost.
Well, I was going. Well, and the Knicks lost. That was a heartbreaker. The Knicks was a heartbreaker.
Yeah, but I think they'll come back.
I
And
hope so. It's a
you
7-game
know,
series.
amazing. Think about it. When was the last time
Yeah.
New York basketball fans
Yeah.
had an opportunity
Yeah.
to be excited about basketball in New York?
Yeah.
It has been
It's been a long
a
time.
long
time.
time.
I think the last time the Knicks were in the playoffs was like 2013 with Carmelo Anthony, and
Yeah.
that was a.
And that was all, you're right. You
Yeah, that
almost
was
feel
a-
like that was a fluky year.
I think they got swept.
Yeah.
I think they were swept out in the first round.
Yeah.
They might have won one game, so it's been a while.
Yeah. So so I think sports right now, New York, we got the Mets playing great except for the weekend. Yankees come
Yankees woke up.
around.
Yankees woke up.
The Yankee and the pitching is phenomenal right now.
They have been pitching well. They went like 35 innings without giving
Without
up
giving-
one
yeah,
run. And,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
So yeah, they're pitching well, and pitching wins. If Nelson was here, he would say pitching wins.
Of course, he would say that
So,
because
yeah.
he's a
Oh,
pitcher.
he's
so.
a pitcher, right. Oh yeah. So, but yeah.
But yeah.
So sports are now golf.
Good.
We welcome Ray into the studio. Welcome to the studio.
Right here.
I have to go because already Kevin Ross says I need gas money break, so that means I'm going to go practice right now, Kevin. You're going to get it, goddamn.
As long as you don't have to golf against them. That's but yeah.
So talking about sports. So now sports underway. The 2020 Olympics was canceled. Was rescheduled, moved to this year. So we'll have an Olympiad here in the summer, starting July, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we fall right into the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
So we'll have Olympics.
Yeah.
We'll have a few months break, and then
A lot
February.
of sports.
Yeah.
We're cramming it in.
It'll be interesting. So it's Tokyo for the summer, and then
Yeah.
Beijing for the winter.
Yeah, you know, I was
But back to back, which is unusual. It's usually every
4 or every 2
years,
years.
Right now. It used to be every 4.
And so for the IOC, you've got a lot happening. But now for these athletes,
They weren't
who
doing nothing anyway.
so these summer athletes, you think about them competing.
Yeah.
Now, go back to a little bit on the age conversation.
Yeah.
I haven't followed it recently, so the trials have all been taking place. They're getting ready, putting their teams in place. But who aged out? Who would have retired last year?
Right.
Who didn't?
Right.
Who is missing their opportunity to have competed because of the shutdown in 2020?
That's right.
Now a year extended. Now I did see in gymnastics there's been another flip. It'd just be interesting and usually on the swimming, you usually see it on the swimming side first. Swimming and gymnastics specifically.
Well, they're very physical sports.
Definitely.
And actually, I just saw something this morning where one of the older athletes who had retired a while ago, she came back and she was competing and she did phenomenal. And she did it because she wanted to prove that the formula for competing at that level doesn't have to be the way it is. You don't have to be out of the sport by a certain age.
That's right.
You know, you can continue to compete well past that.
Tim Tebow was making a comeback.
That is
That's got the potential to be very
Speaking of
ugly. That could be very ugly. I will
So
say
he gave
that.
up on baseball.
Yeah.
well. First he gave up on football, then he gave up on baseball, and now he's back in football again.
Right. As a tight end.
Well, good for him.
So, but that's
That's what she said.
that
Dude.
first hit he takes. That first hit that he takes. Maybe a
That's
very
it,
short-lived-
ring the bell?
It might be a short-lived career. So, but you know, he's not as young as he used to be. Speaking about the age thing, and now you're going to be getting hit by guys that are coming at you like a freight train. You know?
Yeah.
So well, I wish him well.
Yes. Let's hope he doesn't
I
get
wish
too.
him well.
Still be better than anyone on the Jets.
Somebody had to go there, right? Who was that?
Jennifer.
Well, as a lifelong Jet fan, thank you. I'll leave it at that.
That is for sure. All right, so now let's flop to the other side of the spectrum.
Go ahead,
Let's
where
go-
we going, Frank?
Let's go back. So this weekend,
Mhm.
our youth programs officially ended. Our Friday and Saturday
Yes.
season programs.
Yes.
We hosted 2 parties, gave away a
Yes.
bunch of awards,
It was a lot of
scholarships.
fun. It was a lot of fun.
And Joe, you were here Saturday.
Yes.
Heidi even came to bowl.
Even the missus came
to
down.
participate. But you know,
She brought out a 1975 vintage bowling bag.
but it was certainly nice to see the season come to a
Closing commute.
close. Finally come to a close, and after we talked about it briefly before. Our league bowlers, first of all, thank you, but really have gone through so much this year.
Yes. Yep.
Do whatever you want to do.
Oh, they wanted to see if we wanted to see that setup thing.
Hang on a second. Hold that thought.
Anyway, so Frankie is going to take a moment to look at the setup of the
Well, you know what?
Manic Monday Ladies Party tonight.
As Frank, is there a party here tonight?
Tonight,
Oh.
yes.
Maybe before the live at the draft league, we can craft it.
Here it is. We're all about crashing
Don't tell
parties.
anybody. We may craft that party. But
Hopefully
you know,
there'll be lots of alcohol.
but
It's not a party.
no, it's not a party then. But before Frankie can get back to his point, what I was going to say is the one thing about our kids. I mean, these kids, if you could drop quarters into the back of their neck if there was a slot, and they would bowl for hours
Yeah.
and hours and hours and hours. I mean, these kids
Yeah.
can't get enough bowl.
Yeah.
I was amazed that they took a break, they went to get their food, they
Right.
ate quick, they rammed the food in their mouth, and they went right back to the lanes to get a
Yeah,
bowl.
and it's funny
I mean-
because we've kind of evolved our parties where we used to have a picnic.
Right,
We both used to have a picnic,
right.
and
I think they would rather be here.
it was a nice day. I mean, it was always dependent on the
Weather
weather,
dependent.
which
Yeah.
would give me
Yeah, a
anxiety
lot
for
of
2 weeks before the party. And so a couple of years we decided, let's try to do something different.
Mhm.
And since we've moved to this party, I mean,
It's been a hit.
it seems like the kids really enjoy it.
Plus, when it comes to this, the parents can participate with them. So this gives them the
Right.
opportunity to
It's
get
more of a
Right.
together
Well, we're at the-
activity.
Yeah, we're at the picnic. I mean, the parents all sit together and the kids play softball. Some
Right.
of the parents play, and this. So no, it's greatly received. But I have to say, the kids have been put through a lot too.
Mhm.
Everybody
Oh,
has, and so
they have.
this inconvenience, we were happy to be able to get back up and running. And but I can't believe we're talking that the season has ended.
Yeah, I know.
We all survived the
Went fast.
COVID bowling season.
Went fast.
It did. It really did
It
go
really
fast. We awarded over tens of thousands of dollars in scholarships
Mhm.
just in a weekend from their finishing of the year, plus all of their other accolades. Our kids
So much,
really
yeah.
did
They did
well this
amazing.
year.
They really did.
You guys, we've talked about it each step of the way, and they're going to get another due next month. They'll get honored and recognized for all of their achievements.
Yeah.
We've got a handful of athletes going to compete at junior gold in
There you go.
Indianapolis.
Right. Yeah.
So it's going to be, summer's coming, and right before you know it, the new fall season will be here.
Yeah.
Be even more exciting.
Yeah.
Summer bowling starting soon, so we're just trucking along.
Trying to get back to whatever normal is going to be again.
And I think
Hopefully.
it's like you're working harder
Yeah.
to get back to something that you did before,
Right.
and it's a progression. It's going to be a phasing.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps asking all these different things. Well, by the way, nothing's changed. This is what we know today. You know what we know. Nothing's changed. Nothing's consistent. But
Tomorrow
we're
might be
working through it.
different, but today is not. Right.
So even today, like somebody had asked about using every lane. Hey, we're currently in a position. They keep telling us 100%.
Mhm.
It is everything is unclear.
Mhm.
Everything. Nothing is. It's clear as mud.
Yeah.
When even this whole vaccinating, not vaccinated,
Oh, God.
testing, mask, things are unclear because every time I turn around, and I read something else. It tells me something else. I can even argue
Right.
that one of the restrictions does say people in this environment have to wear masks.
Right.
It doesn't match something else. So it's so hard, but we will be phasing into regular life almost on our own. We can't even follow whatever the guidelines there are because they almost don't exist anymore.
Right.
Because they're not getting updated like they
No.
were.
No.
Nobody's telling us X, Y, and Z. It's just unclear. So we just want people to come and continue to feel comfortable. We know our plan is by the time the summer starts, we'll be bowling together again. And
I think in a way it worked out. It's working out in our favor. It's kind of happening this way because if it had been, you don't have to wear your mask and use every lane all at one time, I think that would have been a little bit of just a shock.
I
It
could
would have been
almost,
like, it would have been. It would have been like everybody rushing Phil on the 18th green. Right.
Yeah, my anxiety
Yeah.
level would have been through the
Yeah, it
roof.
would have been.
I almost would have preferred the other way around. I would
Oh,
almost
then it was
prefer
100% from,
full
well, yeah,
capacity.
I just think I
utilizing
could do
everything
both.
with the mask.
right.
Right.
And then phase, because I think the rec, it would have been easier. However, it's been long enough where I think it's not going to matter to an
Right,
extent.
right.
But I almost feel like I would have rather the other way. And I could argue.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I was glad that they didn't do both at this, it's not both at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
But yes, preferably it would have been, let's all be together with the masks first,
Right.
get used to that physically being near other people, and now if you're comfortable, take your mask.
Let's get back to being in people's personal
To people's face, which I'm not in a rush for that.
Yeah.
Just,
Well,
you
I
know.
got to tell you, church yesterday,
Oh, that's right. Staten Island, because I saw they said
Wow.
Brooklyn and Queens.
Brooklyn and Queens, but I don't know if they're letting the pastors of each parish kind of like use
Do their own
common
thing.
sense, or. But our pastor got up at the podium and before mass even started, he said, "Okay, so here's how it's going to go. If you're vaccinated and you want to take your mask off, fine. If you're vaccinated and you want to leave your mask on, fine.
Fine.
Whatever you want to do. If you're not vaccinated, we're kindly asking you to please."
You are in God's house and there's
Right.
no lying there.
So who are you fooling? Right? You're not fooling
So,
anyone there.
do they still have every other pew?
No, they removed the
Oh.
caution tape or whatever.
Any
we
delicate
had.
ties.
Well, you know what was funny? In the beginning, they had the yellow caution tape up with every
Yeah.
other pew.
Yeah.
And then after like a month, I guess the pastor thought, that's not a good look.
Not the best.
So he got the bridle, when they put the bow on the end of the pew.
Yeah, that's
So-
that's what I saw when I was
He
there.
stretched it out and put it over the pews so
Yes.
this way you can't get in there. But now they were gone, so people could sit in every
Every
pew.
row.
But what did people do?
Well, at 8:30 mass on a Sunday,
It's a little sparse.
It's a little sparse.
Right, but the people automatically space out.
Well, yeah, but there were people sitting like one pew
Yeah.
right behind without a space, but there weren't a lot of people. I'm sorry, Father Michael. We had 35 people at the mass yesterday morning. Not a lot.
They didn't want to hear fun.
Yeah, well,
At 8:30. At 8:30.
So, but not at 8:30. Yeah. But when you're an early bird like me, I go to the 8:30. So that's all right. But yeah, so church is different too now. So you can sit back in every pew.
Yeah, it is interesting because I think that there's a lot of being left to interpretation, even more so today. And so even with us, technically, all the six, and this is where it's unclear. You technically have to distance from others, physical distance from others.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to provide that space. So one could argue that based on what we read, we could use every bowling lane.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as, people have opportunities to move around, which they do.
Yeah.
They do. They don't have to, instead of moving to the next lane, or they can come up, one team sit down below and up here.
Right, which
There's
is
plenty
right.
of space. But then at the same time, it says you have to provide that space.
Mhm.
So in the restaurants, tables are supposed to be 6 feet apart.
Right.
Now the difference is the restaurants have now set up as they were 100%.
Right.
Now it depends on if they get busy. They're probably
They're going to start using those tables, right?
They'll start, and I feel like the same thing will happen with us for a little while, especially with open play.
Yep.
We'll work to every other lane.
Right. And then
But as we
fill
get
in as
busy,
you
we're gonna
have
start
to.
filling in.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have to, but then we have to make sure that we tell people.
Yeah.
Bro Peppy, welcome to the party. Hey, so we shall see. We shall see where this goes.
Work in progress.
It is a work in
Always.
progress.
Always.
So I have today's meme of the day. We talked about the weather before,
Mhm.
and we could have shared this then. Right? This is,
Absolutely.
we dodged COVID for a year.
Oh,
and now
yeah.
it's Paula,
Yeah.
go take me out.
Yeah. I have to say, yes. I never had allergies until I turned 50. And after I hit 50, the grass, the ragweed, the hay, everything.
You know what's really good about that? When you have multiples, they take turns.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
one day one will be high,
Oh,
and then the next day somebody else is high.
oh.
Yeah, it's an ongoing
Pollen
battle.
and then Jenna says,
My eyes were red yesterday.
I don't really have it. I have allergy issues with certain things.
I never did until I turned 50.
But yesterday we sat outside the whole day. By the end of the day, I was dripping. My eyes
Stuffy.
itching.
It's
My
nice
eyes
to be
were red.
dripping and stuffy
Yeah.
at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's pleasurable.
Yes, that's a
so now
wonderful
you can
effect.
see closed everything off.
Yep. And then
And the pollen, the car is disgusting.
Yeah, the car,
I mean,
yeah.
it's nothing. I just feel like it's worse.
it is going to be
It's
worse
pretty
this
bad
year.
this
Yeah.
year. And nothing you can do about
They
it.
warned us.
Yeah, it's
So
bad.
now not only pollen, but next the cicadas are coming. But
Oh,
but there's a big
God,
but.
not them again. Oh,
The big but, according to the
God.
Staten
7
Island
years,
Dance,
8 years.
according to the Staten Island Dance, we will not see the scientists say we in this region will not see them
Oh, really?
in the masses that we typically
That is
do.
amazing.
So instead of having them
yeah.
everywhere,
I was stepping on them last time they were here. I was walking along a parking lot and I'm hearing crunching.
Crunching.
I look down, I'm like, oh, no.
we don't know. We don't know, but they're saying we might not have the mass, but they are relentless.
Yeah.
Well,
and
that's
they
a
don't,
relief.
and they're not. I mean, they're annoying.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're not harmful.
No,
in a way,
they're very annoying.
so, but
And
they are
they're not the
right.
best looking things either.
No, they're a little creepy.
They're a little,
Well, they're just, yeah. I mean, especially for some people that don't like bugs.
For some people that,
If you don't
as
like
Frankie
bugs-
looks directly at me. Yeah, I could do without them. I just really don't want to see them. I know they're here.
Well, it depends what kind of bug you're talking about. A guy like John Gotti didn't like certain bugs, but they were different kind of bugs.
Oh,
What kind of bugs did he not like?
Oh, the bugs, you know, I mean.
Oh, those kind of bugs.
Yeah, you know, the bugs that are planted in a lampshade, maybe.
That's a
you
different
know,
kind of bug.
Different kind of bug.
now I have to back up. Kevin's saying good for your diet also. I'm not so sure what we're talking about. Cicadas, we eat the cicadas?
Oh, cicada salad. It sounds nice,
Wait,
but I will be passing
now?
on
I'm
that.
going to age myself, Ness. What was the movie where they were on Devil's Island? Steve McQueen, Dustin Papillon. They
Papillon must have come out when I was like
70, I think 71.
I was an early teenager. But you're younger than me. I probably didn't watch it
Actually,
because
you're younger than someone.
it was.
That doesn't happen often, Frank. I can tell you that. They were eating bugs.
Yeah, that movie wasn't in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, they say
no,
you can't eat
yeah.
that. So you're being trolled. We're being trolls
Oh,
Nice.
annoying.
from our friend Piggy.
Speaking of
Biggie,
annoying.
how's that Yankee pitching doing, by the way?
Oh, he couldn't
We
wait.
don't have enough time.
Joe was so disappointed when
yeah.
you were not going to be here today.
Yeah, you know, I
He
wanted to ask
just wanted to.
Gloat? Biggie, you know, how's that Yankee? Riddle me that. How's that Yankee do that? How's that Yankee?
Save it, Joe,
I
because
will.
hopefully he'll be here in the future.
Yeah.
And hopefully by then the Yankees will really
Well,
go back to the.
I'm sure that I opened my mouth, so tomorrow night they're bound to give up 10 runs tomorrow night now because I just opened my mouth.
He says the Syracuse Mets pitching has been subpar. Speaking of future, so we have Figgy back in the studio this week. Joe doesn't know this yet. This is
Oh, wait, people,
so
wait.
this upcoming week
Wait.
we will have a primetime show.
Oh,
Prime time.
Date
Wow.
to be determined, probably tomorrow.
wow.
But
Ooh.
Jason Belmonte will be back in the back.
Oh,
on Live
really?
from Raps.
Belmo.
Wow.
Belmo on Live from Raps. So Joe, prime time, you got to be prepared for.
I'm ready.
You see it? He's in for
I'm
it.
ready.
As Belmo made sure to tell me to remind me that he's on Sydney time,
Right.
which wasn't the problem. in the conversation. I think the last time we had him on, we did a 7 o'clock show. So
Yeah, we did. It was a Sunday night.
he's gonna come back.
Mhm.
We're gonna live now. So talking with Belmo, he was on in the beginning of this with all of us, locked up in the house with his kids.
Yeah, he was
Yes,
so
I remember
good.
that.
He was so
Since
good.
Then he's had to quarantine several times because he traveled.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's staying at home. His wife is expecting within the next
Oh,
couple of
very
weeks.
nice.
So
Which
obviously,
was the push? He goes,
the
"Hey, my
quarantine.
wife's due in a couple of weeks, so we gotta get this done. We gotta get on the show."
Well, he had
And they don't mess around. I believe he told us that when they quarantine, when they come back into the country, they put them in a hotel
Oh, yeah.
with like a
I
guard,
remember him
Yeah,
saying
and they
that, yeah.
can't. They literally cannot leave.
And you have to pay for it yourself. So 2 weeks left in a hotel. You have to pay for it. They send you food. They deliver food to your room every day.
Wow.
I just want to hear it from him because his journey. He was sharing videos and photos. Really interesting because you're not with your family. You can only FaceTime. You're locked in a hotel room. Like at some point, you got to go bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the Neil Patrick Harris, who when he was quarantined, he traveled and quarantined. Now, the room that he was in, this beautiful suite.
Yeah, I think I saw part of
But he
that.
had brought his
That's
he brought his PS5.
Well, you
He
know.
had all his games. But the same thing. I mean, when you have to travel and forced to do it, it is a little different, and especially for him leaving the country. So he'll be on with us this week, prime time. Look for the announcement.
Very cool. I better work on my Aussie accent because it didn't go over too well last time. He said I sounded like Paul McCartney. Right? He said, that's a little more British. I'm like, well, sorry. But,
Oh, yeah, he's great. That's
Yeah.
exciting to have.
yeah, the PBA guys were happy he wasn't able to travel.
Yeah, they were loving it. They didn't miss it.
We have to make that part of the conversation with him because that even goes back to the other issue with the elder statesmen. People at some point, and he's not old at all.
Not at
But they
all.
look at him,
But on the PBA,
top player in the tour,
Yeah.
couldn't compete this
Yeah.
year in some of the events. He was invited,
Yeah.
couldn't compete,
couldn't travel. Yeah.
wasn't even able to travel or travel to quarantine within the time he needed to.
Right. Yeah, you wonder if
That's
in
difficult.
some way,
That's difficult.
I'm not saying the victories without him in the field are tainted, but
You know he's not there.
I just think as an athlete, when you win, I want to beat the best.
Beat the best.
I want to know that was the best team on the field or the
Right.
best competitor, the
Yeah.
best field was presented, and I beat the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
So and I think I'm sure they didn't feel cheated. I'm sure
Oh,
when
yeah.
the check was signed,
Yeah.
still went in the bank
Oh,
the
yeah.
same way it does. But that thought always in the back of the head, and especially in the bowling centers where he dominates, or on a particular shot where he dominates.
Right.
It's got to be a little
Would
thought in
the
the back of the
outcome have
head.
changed?
Yeah.
Would it have changed? Maybe not.
Maybe
We don't
not.
know. I mean, and then
Yeah.
he wasn't bowling, so now that he's coming back, I mean, you're out of it for a little bit. He's been practicing. I love watching his
I'm
videos.
sure.
He's got his son Hugo bowling. He talks about how Hugo's going to be better than him.
That's frightening to think that.
Yeah,
Can you
man.
imagine?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Well, think of all the things he's teaching him.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Well,
imagine.
and true experience. You can only teach so much.
Right. He's going to have to have his own journey and learn his own. Maybe he'll throw the ball with his hand in the ball.
Maybe one hand. Maybe one hand. You never know.
You don't know.
Figgy also had to throw in there that the Yankees can't play the Orioles every night. They just beat the White Sox, not the Orioles. White Sox are a solid team. So, whatever.
Those damn White Sox. So anybody that's in a 13-run pool,
Oh, yeah.
those are a few of them.
Yeah.
And different teams, which is great. I had the Reds in one of them. The Reds needed 7 or 11. 7.
They got 8.
And for like a week, 2 weeks, they needed 7. Then, of course, they had this one game where they scored 7 up. They had the 7 runs in like the 5th inning.
And
then
then-
it turned into a 13, 14 game run. One game. Now, and then the White Sox is correct thing. So now, okay, White Sox win, wonderful. Anybody's in a kind of pool. So now, the other night in another pool, I go to pick a team. The White Sox.
Team that just won.
So, of course, that's
They
not going to
won't win
happen.
again.
You don't know.
They won't win again.
You
I mean,
never
You
know.
never know.
No.
This week, we kind of laughed about this, and so I don't know if Matt's still watching. Butler is not watching with us today, but congratulations to Rob.
Oh,
the 300 games past
Oh,
week.
he
Really,
did?
huh?
I had no idea.
He showed his video
Only
with
kid Rob.
extreme excitement.
I had no idea he bowled.
High fives for everyone.
It was for him. He messaged me. It was all about, he felt good about not wearing the mask.
Yep.
And he celebrated. Last night on the lanes, Mike Spiro bowled 290. I mean, he's been lighting up the lanes on Sunday nights. Mike Spiro, 299. There's been a
Awesome.
couple of
Very good.
honor scores this week.
I'm assuming he didn't celebrate in Butler fashion.
No. But I would rather that. I want to see high scores, and then I don't know if you've seen this post.
Oh yeah,
So
this was sent to me last night.
Oh, yeah. I
Jim
saw
Higgins
that.
shared this.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
When you throw a pitch.
I will tell you,
Oh, boy.
like
Let's hope we don't see that live.
my temper.
Well, our ball returns can't do that.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to,
Just in case anybody's thinking that.
they're screwed.
Don't get any
You
thoughts.
can't move.
Don't get any thoughts.
The funny thing is, when I saw that, I was like, "Oh my!" And then I thought to myself, there have been a couple times where I've really honored to do that. Not that I ever would,
All right.
but I thought it was funny.
We can
I
caption that. Pot bowling.
Bowling on beds.
Figgy says White Sox, tough division. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. They still did it.
All right, I'm not saying anything else.
They still have to get 0 to 13.
You're just giving him.
I was gonna ride
yeah. You're just giving him something to work with.
500. I'll just leave it at that.
That's it.
Yeah.
The record speaks for itself, doesn't it?
So whatever it is you bowl, you miss a shot. You don't need to punch a hole in the wall, but if you try to pick up the ball return, you might get hurt.
Yeah, that's a little.
That's the point of that.
That may be a little over the
Yeah, that's a little
top.
tough.
I mean,
I would have liked to actually. I want to see the video.
yeah. Well, hopefully.
No, I don't know. What's unclear is that Jen's. It looks like it's Jen's photo. It looks like that she
took
that.
it right.
So but there's
Maybe
no
she
story
can give
behind
us-
it. There's
right,
no
right.
full story behind it.
Right.
So
See,
maybe
we
it's not-
like the picture, but we always want the
We
story.
need the story.
What
that
is-
goes with it.
A picture, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Right?
Okay. Kenny, yes, we are
Yeah,
sitting at the bar
this-
today
right.
with no drinks. We did it on Cinco de Mayo, and I don't know if you really paid attention how well that went. Because the rest of the day might have not went so well for Nazareth.
I probably overdid it, Frank.
I'm sure there's video of
Well,
that.
first of all, I just want to say this.
Let's back it up.
Frankie made the absolute best margarita I have ever tasted. I don't even like margaritas.
Yeah, I'm not a
When he
margarita.
put it on the, I was like, "Is this a margarita?"
Well, let's Cinco de Mayo. You have one.
I'm not gonna
take
drink
a sip
it.
on
Well, that's what
That was the purpose. It was just for show.
that was
The whole thing was
plan.
gone.
Frankie, just a sip was the plan, and then it was honestly so good. I was like, "This, I can't believe this is a margarita," and I just kept drinking it, and then I had a couple of shots, and that was
Wait,
it.
you had Jello shots.
To me, that's like a shot. I might as well be,
As we're looking at the Jello shots.
yes, and I keep
Right,
looking
right.
at them too.
We've got apple. We've got fireball.
We may have
cherry.
to-
We got pina
We
colada.
may have to
Oh,
maybe
boy.
pregame before we do the show tonight.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
I think I may.
Yeah.
You don't have to, whether you join me or not is irrelevant.
So you can join us tonight. You'll see us on the
Jen
live
says she thinks there's video of that.
I think this,
Yeah.
no, I think we're going back to the during the ball return.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. I don't know. I didn't see it.
She said she thinks there's video of it. That would be awesome.
So we had margarita Jello shots. So when you come in, maybe this week again, I'll make them. This week we have blue pina colada, apple, and fire bombs. There'll be something else. in there
Those
this
fire
week.
bombs.
But those margarita Jello shots are pretty good.
Yeah, they.
We had them for Cinco de Mayo. We had some extras. We had them for 2 weeks. They were good. Trying to switch it up. So tonight, live from the draft league,
Like the draft.
with Naz and I are guests with Joe and Joe. God knows what they're going to do to us tonight.
No,
No, they're going to be the
Come,
two
we wanna
gentlemen.
talk golf.
He's going to, Joe will always throw in some arbitrary,
yeah, Joe.
odd question.
Yeah,
like he stumped me the last time. Like, what song do you know every word to? And I was like,
More than
I
one.
felt like every song that I knew flooded into my head and nothing would come out. I couldn't think of one. And then he went away and then he came back and it was like,
any Billy Joel song.
anything.
And I'm sitting there and I'm watching at my desk. Oh no. I think I was watching at the desk.
It's when somebody
One of them,
catches
and
you
then
off
the
guard.
one thing, your favorite athlete, I'm going,
Yeah.
Rusty, stop it, come on.
Oh, Rusty, stop. How can I?
Oh my
I don't know
God.
how I could miss
But
that.
this person, I mean, and there's a few of them, but like that would have been, to me, her,
Yeah.
that should have been the first thing one from and then she just looked at him, she's like, I
I
don't know.
this is
I thought
where
maybe you were drinking that night.
this is where somebody like me who likes everything prepared is when I get caught off guard. It's like,
That's Joe.
yeah.
I try to ask.
I'm gonna have an open mind
Yeah, you
tonight
got
with
to
the
like an open book, and I try to ask the questions, along the lines of,
right.
I don't want to use
More
the
on-
word sanity, but maybe a little more sane. And my buddy Joe is a little bit out of left field with the question.
And that's
But it's
good
all fun.
because I think it's funny
Yeah,
because sometimes you learn something
Yeah,
about how many people would know that Rusty Staub is like my favorite.
Right. Look at on. Yeah.
Nobody would know.
Well, we know it.
Well, now
I
everybody
knew,
knows.
But now they know.
So God knows what you're going to throw at us. We'll see.
Yeah.
We already talked some golf. We have the Rabbit tomorrow golf outing is Friday, July.
Sign up for the golf outing.
A lot of
Frank,
fun.
as I was writing my little post on Facebook last night, inviting everyone to come, and tagging all our past golfers. I was like, it's been 2 years.
No.
2 years since we've been together.
It's only one. 2020 didn't happen.
What it did.
2020 did not.
There was a space in there.
Yeah, there was a gap.
But, yeah, and so we're extra ratcheted up for
It's
this
gonna be
year.
fun.
It's going to be a great outing. And usually, listen, we have a sold out outing to begin with. We have a waiting list already. But if you have golfed with us before, we want to make sure we have.
And even if you haven't,
we'd love to welcome you. Jennifer,
Please
dust
come.
off the golf clubs. You guys cannot golf. I have to say the video of Jennifer, your daughter Jennifer, golfing the other day with
That was
John
so
was
cute.
absolutely adorable. And it's nice to see the kids learning different
Yeah,
sports
yeah.
and taking to that. And she's just so cute to begin with. But it was it's fun to see that and trying to learn. But golf, it's a great day. If you can participate. You want to sponsor, we'd love make a donation. We'll have some raffles ahead of time.
it is a great,
It's going to be
and every hole is an experience.
Oh yeah.
a new experience.
Oh, yeah.
And we got new stuff. We got
Wait, can you say that again?
what?
What would you say first?
I'm not saying it again.
Every hole's an experience. I missed the opportunity.
Yes, you did.
That's what she said.
Family show.
Yes,
It's a family show.
and there you go. Anyway, talking about, I almost texted you last night. Last night watching the Billboard Awards because
Who watches award shows?
I usually don't, but there was nothing on. I was watching Criminal Minds and I was like, I have to stop looking at people being killed. So I flipped past and there was a Nike commercial on, and we have to find a copy of it, honestly. And it was about
New one?
encouraging kids to do something new.
Oh, I saw that.
And it had all different sports, and it was all kids being, not being successful at the attempt, but still trying. And it even had bowling in it, which to me was like, well, they're at the top of the list.
Very good.
And it wasn't really, you didn't even know what it was until the very end where they put the screen with their brand on it. I just thought the messaging to that age group, because they were all the ones that I remember seeing were in that 13 to 18, 20 age group, and it was just encouraging them to go and try something you haven't done before.
Try something else.
And I loved it. I loved it. Nike wins again.
Yeah.
We'll have to find it and share it. I will say that commercial, it has a great story. One of my other favorite commercials, and we've shared it on our page. So you can scroll down. Pepsi put out a commercial, and I mean it's exaggerated.
Look at you.
By far. At the same time, it's a nice, healthy reminder of where we were and where we will go back to.
Right.
And it's all about the messes that we make. So the song is Tomorrow from Annie, and it takes you through all the things.
I do remember that. Yes.
Sharing popcorn, and it's exaggerated, like the hot dog passing them at baseball games at the end.
Right.
They're bowling, where they're eating wings and looking at fingers and but these are the things that we all want to get back to, right? We want it to some extent. I mean, that's exaggerated, but the messaging is fantastic because it basically says we can't get back to making the messes that we used to make that we enjoy.
Yeah.
So we'll find
I could do without somebody's hand on my hot dog.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you said.
Yeah. That's not what he said.
That's not what he
We got to
said.
change the rating on the
All
show.
Anyway.
We got to go to NC-17 on the show.
Yeah. So, and I like that. I like the idea of brands not pushing their brand in your face and kind of letting it happen and sending a message and then the branding after.
And this is the best time to do it.
Oh yeah.
So this is other campaign. There's other commercials that Pepsi we know will follow. I think there's a second one with bowling in it, and then this one, the Nike thing. I mean, it's just a fantastic message.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
So we'll find it. We'll post it here. So you never know what's going to happen here on Life Around because we're back. You never know when we're going to pop up. But
I know when we got Papa next.
Well, next week.
I'm not going to say it, but Belmo will be here.
Yes, Belmo will be here this week.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I left it alone.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Rating change. We've gone from PG to NC-17.
Episode 145.
Well, does that mean we can curse then? Because then I can really.
But we have.
Maybe a
We
little.
have. And
Yeah.
prime time we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
That's even
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, well, the commercials are more money at prime time.
Yeah.
So,
145 episodes later, Joe, I don't know how many appearances you have made on the
I've
show.
made quite a few.
Of
Certainly not
140
145.
No, you made quite a few. I have only missed one.
Right.
You guys
I missed.
held the reins.
I
with
was here
Biggie.
for that
I
one.
missed one or two.
And then, and this Friday, quick, we will be, actually, we have a lot of live content this week.
Oh, yeah,
So we're also, Joe Naz and I are going to be live from Staten,
Yeah.
Oh, Friday!
hosting the red carpet
Catering
Oh
hall.
my gosh!
Catering
Staten
hall.
Island USBC Championship Awards Dinner and Hall of Fame.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So
That's a fun night.
Yeah.
as
That's
people
good.
are coming in, we're going to be live talking to all of our champions, our Hall of Fame, and we'll also stream the Hall of Fame induction live.
Yeah.
We have 3 new Hall of Famers being inducted at the Staten Island USBC Hall of Fame. Tim McAuliffe, Jim Episcopia,
It's
Jeff
gonna
Charest.
be, yeah.
We're honoring our 2020 champions, our 2021 champions.
Mhm.
It's going to be a nice
It'll be a
evening.
fun
It's gonna be fun.
But you'll get, if you're not joining us, you're welcome to join us. But if you're not, you'll be able to catch some of the action live here,
Yeah.
or go back to it from the Staten Island USBC page, and you just never know.
No,
You
I
never know who's
that.
going to be on the red carpet.
Yeah, that night anything's possible. I better get my suit out.
And Jen,
It's been a while.
so with the Marvel thing,
Oh, here we go.
I was kind of challenged by my friend to watch Marvel, the series, because I've never seen any of them. But she said I had to watch them in order. So somebody sent me the Rotten Tomatoes link of the order that I need to watch the movies in. I was like, this is like a friggin' assignment. I just wanted to watch some movies. So anyway,
You wanna watch them
so
in
I've
order?
watched Captain America was the first suggestion. Loved it. Captain Marvel was second. Was good. And then Iron Man, which I loved. So that's what I'm up to. I watched Iron Man 1. Iron Man 2 is up next. And I couldn't have watched Captain America Civil Wars because it's not in the
Is there
order
anything
yet.
specific that you're watching them for, Naz?
No, Frank, no, there's nothing.
I don't watch them.
I'm watching them for.
She's a fan of some of the actors.
Oh, okay.
Listen, I'm just a fan of this series.
All right.
No, listen, we're Star Wars people, and so I know Jen also, right, on the Marvel side, and so even with the Star Wars, I challenge anybody to go back and watch the Star Wars movies
That would be next.
in chronological
If I ever
order.
get through.
It's bizarre to do
Yeah,
because
because
you've got new technology,
right, it
really
is
old
old
technology.
right?
but it does
Not necessarily in that order, because it's weird. Because I
It's
think
new,
it
old, new, old,
happened
new.
with Marvel too, is that they weren't necessarily done in a chronological order,
Right.
and some of the story that tells the previous story needs to be seen before the new. So yeah, so that's why I'm not getting. I'm following what it says to do,
We've
and
done
I
it.
will learn.
You gotta watch
I'm
them in the
learning.
right order. I mean, if it's not The Godfather for me, it's it's got to be in the right
And
order.
that's how it started. That's how the conversation started. We were talking about
Mhm.
Casino and Goodfellas.
Right. Well, any Marvel
And
movie.
because the song Layla came on, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, I cannot hear this song
Yeah.
without thinking
Right.
of the iconic scene in the movie.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I said, it's so funny how you get tied into hearing something and the visual that's attached to it.
Right. No, it's
So-
true. It's true.
So that's
Yeah.
how that all kind of snowballed into. Now I'm watching Marvel movies,
Mhm.
but I did like Iron Man, and Robert Downey Jr. is very, very funny.
Naz, just backtrack a moment. You mentioned Criminal Minds before. The key of watching any of those shows, watch it and then watch something happy after. So
Yeah.
watch it,
But you
and then,
I
put on
can't do that.
Channel 11. You
I
get
don't
one of those
do that.
funniest shit comedy. You find something
This
funny
is
to
the
watch.
problem.
Because then at least you're not going to bed thinking about the guy who murdered someone who might show up in your house.
I did it last night.
You do
After
not
I
want to go to
flipped through
sleep.
Billboard, it was getting boring. I went back to Criminal Minds, and I watched like 5 episodes in a row. And I was
Wow.
like, what am I doing to myself?
And then you couldn't go to sleep.
I can't sleep. I'm like worried about my kids. I'm worried about other people and why do they put themselves in such vulnerable. Yeah, it's.
And they're based on true story. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
They're based on true
Which
story.
makes it even more
So
disturbing.
Jennifer also says, watch the shows on Disney Plus. WandaVision was fantastic. I can't.
Oh well, that's where I'm watching them. I'm
I-
watching them
I
on
can't-
Disney Plus.
I can't figure out the WandaVision thing.
As a stockholder, thank you.
Well, you can get a couple of shirts when you come in.
Yeah, right.
There's a little Disney Plus logo. A little Disney Plus logo.
I lost my purse when I retired.
And also funny. So Friends, quick because we gotta go.
Oh yeah, reunited.
But now here's the thing. They teased a reunion. People are somewhat upset because they assumed that this was going to be
A new,
bring the show back
yeah.
with all the old cast, and it's a one night only reunion show.
Well, that's what I would have thought it would have been.
But so now go look at the silly space. And all the trolls on Twitter and like, oh, and the fans, we were hoping for a series, da da da.
What are these people are past the show? They're doing it to give the fans a little something special,
Right.
but so caught up in what's
I know.
important to them
I
that
know.
they expect them all to.
I don't know. But I have to say, the new trailer with them showing this is pretty cool. They bring them into the studio. They're having the conversations.
Right.
It looks like they're reenacting, talking about specific shows. So it is interesting.
Well, Fraser is coming back,
Oh really?
He's making a
No,
comeback.
but
I
that's
used to
actually
like
coming.
Frasier.
Yeah.
I like
That's
Frasier.
actually coming back.
Right. Yeah.
They're actually
Yeah.
making the show.
Yeah.
They're not calling it a reunion.
No, it's coming back. Yeah.
And I loved Frasier. That was one of my
Yeah, that was a good
shows.
show.
Kelsey Grammer.
Took me a little bit to get into it, kind of get like because the humor was was kind of very dry, which normally I like.
Yeah.
But like once I watched like a couple episodes, I was like, I love that.
Yeah, David had Pearson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole cast. But interesting to see. I mean, they are much older now, but it doesn't really matter. Their age didn't matter.
Right. And the
So,
father passed away.
Right.
So yeah.
So are they just gonna have the recliner
Maybe
there?
just the chair. Yeah.
with a dog.
With
A new Eddie. A new
A new
Eddie.
Eddie.
Yeah.
And Paul Rudd is not appearing in the Friends reunion.
Right.
You want to talk about somebody who
Oh, here we go.
he is. Tell me he's not hysterical. And I find out that Ant-Man is one of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
So I'm very excited about that. I'll be looking forward to that. He's funny. People that make me laugh. I like people that make me laugh.
He is
So
funny.
And, you know, and when it comes to, so that's going to be on HBO Max, which Jen mentioned. Thank God my HBO Max free trial ends after Friends comes on. But it's another. So we have to have another subscription, and that's that's driving.
Oh, it never ends.
And I was loving during the pandemic. I think still today, where Amex had a thing, they were giving you credit for your for some of your subscriptions.
Oh,
So it
really?
was nice, but that's going to go away soon.
Yeah,
You know,
it's just a whole
it was
thing.
a promotion to
Yeah,
get people to sign up.
small
But
perk.
now,
Wow, that's
How many
funny.
of these different subscriptions?
Oh my
services
gosh.
do you have? And how long is that? And they keep adding more.
Yeah.
Where does that stop? Because it's going to have stop.
The funniest thing was, I kept flipping through my channels looking for HBO Max, and I'm like, where is it? And then so of course I have to Google it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not HBO. It's not like the
Plus or whatever
No.
whatever it was, right?
Yep.
HBO, whatever. They all
They dangle the
progressed
carrot, and then they
so.
pull it away.
Yeah.
well.
That was long. Oh, we went all over the place.
We're going to go back to work.
Yeah, I have one.
I don't have to go back there.
So Joe, you stay here.
Well, I have bowling practice today with the Patrides girls because PSAL season is now, which
Right.
is a little odd.
And good luck to all of our students.
Absolutely. Good
Yeah,
luck to
We
everybody.
know that all the schools wind up with teams
Yeah.
from their weird reasons. There's some combined.
Yeah, bowling.
But they're going to have 5 or 6 matches to compete
Yeah.
over the next few weeks.
Yep.
So good luck to all of our student athletes that
Yep.
having the opportunity to compete.
We love that they were able to
Sadly
get it
for
in.
the kids, because of the way that the season's falling, some of the bowlers can't compete.
Right.
Or not
You can't
competing.
do
They're
more than one
choosing.
sport. Right.
Right. They're
Yeah.
choosing.
Right,
one sport over
normally,
the
right,
other.
bowling would be in the fall
Long
season,
gone, yeah.
and kids who did fall, spring, summer are now already into the spring, summer
They have
sport
to
and
choose.
now.
Yeah.
And because I think partially it took them so long to
To
actually
decide. Yeah.
move forward
Yeah,
with it. That
yeah.
kids have to make their decisions.
Yeah, it's
so.
very different, I could say.
I think I think the kids are the seniors
Yeah.
and missing out on their
Yeah.
final season in whatever sport, but if they're at least participating in something,
Yep.
Something.
right there. So
Yep.
good luck to
Correct.
the teams. I'm not really sure who really has a team.
Most schools do, some schools don't, but
I
they
know.
are doing some co-ed because there's not enough in some schools to field the girls and the boys. So
Right.
they combine them and they're doing co-ed. So very different this year.
So we'll
Very
see. Our friends at the Advance, there's a new concerted effort to report high school sports.
Mhm.
If you saw the new section on SA Live, Joe DeModio's been pushing the envelope now
Joe's
for
man.
weeks,
He's the
trying
man.
to understand, hey, what's happening with the season. So I'm sure we'll get some good stories
Yeah,
out of whatever's happening. And then before you know it, the school year will end. Today announced by the mayor, September, full 100% back to school
Yep.
with no virtual option.
Right.
So
All right then.
back to in-classroom
Yep.
activity, back to somewhat reality that we used to know of.
Yep, they're back.
So it'll be nice. So
Yeah, you know what? I think by then people will start to feel more comfortable, and hopefully the teachers will be able to
Definitely.
have some kind of comfort level, and hopefully the ones will choose to be vaccinated will feel safe, and
Mhm.
the ones who don't will. I don't know
Feel
what
safe.
they'll do.
You won't feel safe.
They'll stay home.
They'll stay- I don't know what
STFH
they'll
is
do.
we've
I don't know. Yes, I get it.
That's been fun. Stay tuned. We'll be back this week with an announcement. Jason Belmonte will be on this upcoming Friday. Tonight we're live at the draft league.
Tonight.
So check us out Friday. We're
Friday.
live in Staten.
Busy week.
Lots of fantastic content.
Lots going on.
I feel like I'm working again.
Yeah. And before you know it, July 4th will be here.
Yeah.
Labor Day will be here.
Oh
and
God. Russian
September will have started.
Yeah, he went right through it.
It's true. I mean, we got this far, right?
Yeah. True. We did.
Well, Joe, thanks for joining us again
My
today.
pleasure. I got nothing but time
you,
now.
Joe.
I got nothing but time.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about him saying, I can't make it.
Yeah.
I got one. I have
I
one
could
on
try to
lunch
run
hour,
out of
one
my
hour.
lunch
Yeah.
hour.
No more emails to check. No more
Right.
phones to answer.
I was just gonna say
Done.
the
Very
phone
relaxed.
calls.
Very relaxed. Very relaxed.
Joe, we need you.
Yeah, not anymore.
Am I the only person that can do this?
Not anymore.